What is a stock? So now that we understand what investing is, and we understand what the stock market is, the next big beginner question becomes, what exactly is a stock? Because people hear stock names constantly: Apple stock, Tesla stock, Amazon stock, Nvidia stock. But if you're brand new to investing, it's honestly not always clear what people are actually buying. Like when somebody says, I bought stock in a company, what does that even mean? Well, at the most basic level, a stock represents ownership in a company. That's it. When you buy stock, you are buying a small piece of a business. Now, obviously, if you buy one share of a giant company, you do not suddenly own the whole company. You're not becoming CEO tomorrow. But technically, you do own a tiny percentage of that business. And if that business becomes more valuable over time, investors hope their shares become more valuable too. That's the basic idea. Now let's use a really simple example. Imagine somebody starts a burger restaurant. At first, maybe it's just one location. But eventually, the restaurant gets popular. Business grows, customers love it, the owner wants to open more locations. But expansion costs money. So maybe the owner decides to raise money by selling ownership shares in the business. Those ownership shares are stocks. So if you buy stock in that company, you now own a small piece of the business alongside other investors. And if the company grows successfully over time, the value of those shares may increase. Now, beginners sometimes hear this and think, okay, but why would stock prices go up at all? And the answer is usually because investors believe the company will become more valuable in the future. Maybe profits are growing, sales are increasing, new products are succeeding, the business is expanding. Or maybe investors simply believe the company has strong future potential. Now, this is important. Stock prices do not always move logically in the short term. Sometimes good companies fall, sometimes bad companies rise. Sometimes markets become emotional. That's normal. And we're going to talk about that much later in this series because understanding market psychology is a huge part of investing. But right now, I just want you understanding the basic concept. A stock is ownership in a company. Now, another thing beginners should understand is this. There are millions of people buying and selling stocks constantly. And because buyers and sellers are always competing with each other, stock prices move up and down throughout the day. If more people want to buy a stock than sell it, the price usually rises. If more people want to sell than buy, the price usually falls. That's supply and demand. Now, here's another important beginner question. Do you have to buy an entire expensive share? And the answer is, not always. Today, many investing apps allow something called fractional investing, which basically means you can buy small pieces of shares instead of whole shares. And yes, we're actually going to talk about fractional investing later in this series because it's become a huge deal for beginners. Now, another thing I want beginners to understand early is this. Not all stocks are the same. Some companies are extremely stable and mature. Other companies are very risky and volatile. Some companies pay dividends, some don't. Some grow rapidly, others barely grow at all. And this is one reason investing can feel overwhelming when you first start learning. Because there are thousands and thousands of stocks out there. But here's the good news. You do not need to become an expert overnight. Nobody learns all of this in a weekend. Even experienced investors are constantly learning. At the beginner level, the most important thing to understand is simply this. A stock is a small ownership stake in a company. That's the foundation.
Looking for a simple way to potentially earn some extra cash while setting up your banking? Right now, SoFi is offering new customers a chance to earn cash bonuses when opening a SoFi Checking and Savings account. Using the link in the description, eligible users may receive a $25 bonus for opening an account, plus an additional $50 or even up to $400 when setting up qualifying direct deposits of $1,000 or more. Bonus amounts depend on eligibility and direct deposit activity, and terms and conditions apply. If you decide to check it out using my referral link, I may also receive a referral bonus, so it helps support the channel as well. As always, do your own research, read the terms carefully, and make sure any financial product fits your own situation and goals. You can find the link down in the description below.
Now, obviously, this creates another really important beginner question. If buying individual stocks can sometimes feel risky, What if you wanted to invest in a whole group of companies at once instead of picking just one? That's exactly where ETFs come in. And honestly, ETFs have become one of the most popular investing tools in the entire world for beginner investors. So in the next video, we're going to answer a question you're going to hear constantly in investing. What is an ETF? And trust me, once you understand ETFs, a lot of investing starts making much more sense. So if you want to keep learning investing step by step in plain English, consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.